So for a year, I had this Baba Yaga hut I 3D printed just sitting on a shelf. It never really got used, but it was a great little piece I painted, I thought, so I wanted to do something with it. And I've been running a 1980s fantasy America-themed campaign that takes place all across the country. And my players are actually about to go to New Orleans, so I figured, why not make a little set piece that kind of expands on the lore of the world? So I grabbed some of my scrap foam I had laying around, and a new hot wire cutter I wanted to try out. It took some getting used to, and I actually ended up using the knife for a lot of the scrap to build the foundation of this swamp we're gonna build. I then took a little torch and made all the rough cuts kind of get more smooth and natural. Now it's time to throw on my green screen gloves and make some terrain paste. This is just going to be a mixture of some plaster of Paris, water, and Mod Podge. And honestly, I kind of just winged it to get a feel for what ratio it should be. After that, I spread it all out, trying to get as even as possible, and let that dry for 24 hours. I actually added a few little pieces of rocks and other debris that just bring the whole piece to life a bit more. I then 3D printed some little cattails. I've grown up around some rivers that always had these, and I felt like they'd be perfect to just fit the environment I'm building with this swamp piece. I really want this swamp to feel inhabited by nature and just left untouched by humans, which would be a perfect place for a hag to hide her house, where she travels by boat, every once in a while to town to get resources. I also printed up some 3D trees, some which were 3D scans of actual trees in real life, and gave them a nice little paint job. This was just going over with a few different coats of brown, a bit of a wash, and overall it was going pretty well till I had to figure out how to make the and then making sure to add some extra elements like flocking and little individually 3D printed mushrooms that just make it feel very overgrown that nature has taken this land back. The final thing that was really a challenge was figuring out how to make the Spanish moss. I tried a few different things for these trees, and what I ended up with was using some super wet speed paints, mixed them together, and dipped in some shredded cotton balls. The paint itself kind of helped dry and hardened the Spanish moss, but was also flexible enough to apply to the trees. Then with enough time, it would dry and naturally harden. You can't have a swamp diorama without having some alligators. So I painted up some swamp puppies on a nice little green and went over with a wash and a brown little detail to kind of just, again, make them blend in with the natural terrain. Then for the hero of this diorama is the hag. I really viewed this piece as, again, just a journey back home for this swamp hag that lives in her hut that walks through the swamp that people would find traveling throughout night. Rumors and folklore would, begin to be told about her, lantern-bearing walk-in hut. Again, I wanted to really lean into this green color palette, and maybe also because I just saw Wicked that I decided to paint her green. I went in with a green wash and then went in with a finer brush for some details and brush ups, giving a nice little copper finish to the robes. Then it came time to give her a dab of super glue and put her in her little boat. And obviously she's going to need a way to navigate the swamp, so I painted up a few little oars that I would then snip and glue to her hands. While I was doing that, the terrain base had actually dried and I gave it a couple primer coats. Some greens and browns as a base, and then I actually went in with a very messy dry brush of a darker brown to kind of help try and blend this all together. I actually just picked up an airbrush I hope to use in future videos, as I think it would have made this process a lot easier. But for now, I just used a normal brush, some washes to help add depth to all the textures here that we glued onto the space before priming. And then after that, I applied some flocking and static grass. I wanted tall, overgrown grass because the swampland here in my world is kind of controlled by the Fae, druids, and is left untouched by society. Because there's certainly a lot of dangerous monsters in the swamp. I added some more little detail elements of little bushes, and it started to, come to life. I didn't want to use the same type of bushes everywhere, so I actually got a cheap paintbrush and super glued it together to basically make these little tall, overgrown, dried out grass pieces that could then be added to the diorama as well to add as much variety as possible. I mean, if you look in just natural life, green grass, it's going to have a lot of variety just from natural footpaths from humans or animals. It's now time to glue everything down and get ready for the resin pour. So I kind of laid out a few options of how I wanted to assemble this before deciding on the composition of these trees on the side break into an opening where this traveling house is literally stomping through the swamp. I added some more just brush pieces I 3D printed or handcrafted. They blend this variety of plants and wildlife in this biome all together. So then I talked a little bit about this on my Instagram, but using some epoxy resin and a couple of alcohol inks, I came up with a combination that looked like a swamp water that was a bit murky. Then it was just a matter of putting the boat into the resin once it started to get a little bit tacky, along with putting in a few swamp puppies. Most people don't know, but swamp puppies are native to swamps and sometimes just need a little bit of a nice, gentle pet. I noticed the sides were looking a little sparse for my liking, so I added some 3D printed lily pads to make it feel like an untouched natural landscape. I also wanted to try a technique I've seen before of using luster or glossy Mod Podge to paint over your resin to give it like a water ripple effect. Sadly, this actually introduced some bubbles, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this strategy, so if anyone has a recommendation on what to do differently, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Then it was a matter of getting this thing out of the mold, which was a little trickier than I expected, and giving it a nice wooden trim painted with black 3.0 paint. So, I can't complain for my first diorama, and if you want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.